2 Kings chapter 7 is one of the beautiful narrative that magnifies the power of God in providing for his people. Samaria was besieged by Arameans, and there was no one who can go out of the city, nor who can come into the city. There was no water, there is no provisions. It was a horrible famine when people started to eat their children. It was at this time the prophet Elijah prophesied that by this time tomorrow, a measure of fine flour will be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gates of Samaria. Now there are 4 leprous men at the entrance of the gate. Now you know why the lepers are outside the city. They are not allowed into the city. Even if they have to come, they have to run shouting, "Unclean, unclean." By closing the upper lip, or they will be stoned to death. And one of these 4 lepers spoke, "Why do we sit here until we die? Even if we sit here, we will die of hunger or famine, or we go into the city, people may stone us to death. So let us try going to the enemy's camp of Arameans. If they spare us, we may live, or if they kill us, we will die." These 4 lepers got up, started to walk towards the Aramean camp. Now you can imagine how lepers walk. And as they're walking, the people who are outcasted, the one who were rejected by the society, who were living a miserable lives depending on others for food and clothing and other things, as these weakest persons are walking, the Lord caused the armies to hear a sound of chariots, a sound of horses, even a sound of great army. So the enemies were scared that the king of Israel hired some other kings to fight against them, and fled from the camp. They left the tents, horses, donkeys. They fled for their life. When the weakest one is walking, the strongest army fled for life. Amen. These lepers come to the camp. They ate, they drank, carried silver, gold, clothes, and they came back to the city and led the city to the place of provision. These 4 lepers led the city to the place of provision. These lepers who were once outcasted became a channel of provision for the entire nation. The text says, it happened just as the man of God said. It happened just as the man of God said. God keeps his word. God keeps his word. When God initiates to fulfill his word, our strength doesn't matter. Amen. When God initiates to fulfill his word, our strength doesn't matter. No matter where we are, we may be outcasted or rejected, he can use us to feed the nation. We may be tending sheep, he can make us stand before the kings. We may be thrown into the pit, he can place us on the throne. We may run away with fear, he can use us to bring down the fire from heaven. He is a God who can make us a blessing for the nation. Do not be discouraged. You are precious in the sight of the Lord. He will surely make you a blessing. Amen.